How are you doing, James?
Good. How are you doing, Enrique?
I'm having a good day. How about with you?
Great,
All right.
great.
I'm going to start this off by asking you a couple of questions.
Fantastic.
All right. When did you know you wanted to start your own business?
Actually, about 30 years ago, after I'd worked for a long time for people, and then I had an opportunity to buy a business, and I thought I'd give it a try. I'd always dabbled, had full-time job, and had my own little thing always going on the side. So I had an opportunity. I was in the furniture business, so I had an opportunity to buy a small wood shop. So I started there, and that's what really got me going. And then I automatically, right off, enjoyed all the challenges of having to make all the decisions. So that was it.
Cool. So, how would you describe yourself as a boss?
I would describe myself as a good boss. And how what I think makes a good boss is to create an environment where your people are creating and they don't feel stress and they're motivated and they want to be a part of the whole team project. And I think doing that, finding the way to do that makes you a good boss. Now, one way we spoil our employees, which is might be like very questionable, is we offer. Do you guys want to eat lunch, or you gonna want to have breakfast? And we have a meal all together, and we kind of that puts us and forces us all to sit down, stare across at each other, and strategize our day, so that I really try to make it. We know it's going to be work, but we try to make it like fun. So it's like a sport as much as we can. So an environment like that. And again, I take off the stress so that people can relax, and they after a while they see, wow, I'm in it. It's growing bigger. I'm a part of it. There's a reward. It's essential. I think a common mistake in a lot of businesses, is at a certain point, they just the management and the employees branch off. And when you have that meal together, you are all together. And don't lose that connection. You have to realize each other's spot. I'm constantly teaching my people. You come in, and I want you, after a number of years, to be able to run that shop so that we can make another shop, get other situations going, help out other people. And it's a very modest, instead of one person, it all going to one, like a unbalanced pyramid. It's more, we're all a team, and the benefits, it actually works out to become a bigger business than you anticipated, opposed to where you're running with anger, uh, penalties, all that kind of all those kind of things that have nothing to do with your work you're trying to do. And if you can pull that off, I think you're a good boss.
So, what are essential qualities and behaviors that are important in running your own business?
I think the most essential quality to have is patience. You have to be patient with your employees. The way I try to do it is I try to have them look at it. Let's look at like we're a football team or a team, and we're working at it more instead of work as sports. So you're going to have stress if you're in a technological job or something where you're working with equipment, anything, actually any kind of job, you're going to have a natural stress with that. So I think patience with your employee, try to watch, analyze, and try to get a relationship developed where you can work together. And then, because ultimately you all want to achieve the same goal. So how can we all become one and get that done?
Can you give an example of a complicated issue that you applied your skills such that there was a positive outcome?
Yes, one example is in a particular case, I had a difficult manager. And what I did is I rearranged the shop so that manager, instead of working for a higher up manager, became the shop manager. And it turned the whole outcome around. all of a sudden she had a different perspective, and it actually in the long run worked out great because every the shop started turning out more. Another example of situation is particularly in the garment business. Oftentimes you have, especially starting up with a customer, you might have art that by the time they get the finished item or the shirts, you might have off color or something or a few items that aren't quite ending up what you everybody wanted. So you just take a breath back, say, okay, shirts, let's reorder some more shirts, get your customer happy, and in the long run, both of you will be happy.
So, does having soft skills enhance your productivity?
Yes, soft skills cuts down on chatter and fighting, and people are able to focus on the actual work. I think it's very important for your management to set an example. Language, you can't use foul language, no yelling. Uh, you've got to try to be clear, uh, not vague on your answers, uh, and understand that people may be hearing things. You may have to present something in a few different ways to accomplish the what you need to get done, and that's where I think soft skills really make everything go a lot smoother with less friction. So your productivity is up. Soft skills, yes.
So, do you also find long range planning useful to your businesses?
Yes, you've got to have a long range plan. You've got a plan. So through your experience, you learn your markets, and you have to anticipate your equipment. You have to save for equipment. You have to be ready for. You always have to have an A plan, a B plan, and a C plan, and that's always planning. You have to plan. Are you out of the picture? What will happen to your company? Will your company still run? And these scenarios all have to be as a group, you're taking care of a large number of families, so you have to planning is essential so that you ready for a crisis that's unanticipated. So planning, yes.
Does knowing information technology enhance your company?
I think in today's markets, it's important that there's no way around it. IT, I think a fool tries to get away from it, and a wise person knows there's nowhere to run. So I don't think there's any way out in today's business market if you want to become of any size. You have to keep up with technologies, learn technologies, understand technologies. If you don't necessarily have to embrace them, how do you work beside them? Maybe you contract for another company that is more technological. You create relationships, but it can't be ignored. If you ignore it, these days you're going to be out of business. Branding, it's the greatest things that ever happened. It's just incredible. You can just a person can come up with a name now, register a domain, and just in a bedroom or garage start a company that in a few years could be worth $1 billion. So it's so IT. Uh, you made a lot of people, especially older people, say, I don't like it, I don't want to learn it. But it's like, you know what, you might as well bite the bullet and get in the game if you're going to stay in the game. IT, yeah.
All right, and lastly, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Hmm, 3 words. Well, I think I would describe myself as I would describe a lot of people who are successful in business. Very, very tenacious. Thank you, Enrique.
Thank you, James.
I enjoyed the interview.
Sweet. Good having you.
Thank you. And I wish everybody success in their businesses.